Benjamin Bloom versus Aristotle, a discussion beyond the ladder. Prelude, the mist. Mist swirls, a luminous space with no edge. A man appears, Benjamin Bloom, early 40s, dressed sharply. He stares into the fog.
What is this? Where am I? Who are you?
He notices a figure already seated. An older man in robes, a faint smile on his face, a goblet of wine in one hand.
You are Benjamin Bloom. We are here to talk about education.
Bloom is confused but intrigued.
Education? Are you a colleague?
In a manner of speaking, we are both known for how we think others should think.
Bloom notices his own reflection in the mist. He touches his face.
Strange. I'm young, early 40s, I guess. I live to be 86. Why am I like this?
You are shown at the pinnacle of your life.
Bloom smiles, flattered.
And you? Why so old?
Because I have not yet reached the pinnacle of mine.
Bloom pauses and frowns slightly, then waves it off.
Well then, let's begin.
Aristotle gestures toward the faint glimmer of a chalkboard forming in the mist.
Yes, please. Tell me about your theory.
My taxonomy, you mean?
The chalkboard pulses into full view, a faint hum of possibility. Lights shift. Act 1 begins. Act 1. Bloom takes up position next to the blackboard, shoulders back, full presentation mode.
We began with a problem. How to classify educational objectives. How to bring clarity to the chaos. My committee and I.
Aristotle interrupts.
Oh, no, not yet. Please tell me about your education. How did your journey begin?
Well, I earned my doctorate at the University of Chicago, widely published, youngest in my cohort. I didn't follow the crowd, I set the direction. I became a professor early, the youngest to do so in my cohort, chaired major committees, helped shift education from vague theory to structured knowledge.
Yes, that's admirable. But I meant earlier than that. Tell me about your childhood, your family, your birth.
I was born on February 21st, 1913. My parents were Jewish immigrants who fled discrimination in Russia, only to find discrimination in Lansford, Pennsylvania. It was a coal mining town, and things were tough for my parents. Tough for all of us. My father worked as a picture framer. My mother spent her time in the garden. I had 3 older brothers, and I wasn't the child they hoped for. Not charming, not easy, definitely not sporting. Just precise. I organized my toys. I corrected people. I made charts for games no one else wanted to play. And I thought that if I could just explain it clearly enough, maybe they'd understand.
And at school?
I went to a grammar school, a public high school. I did well. I was bright. Then the Great Depression hit when I was 16. The country was collapsing economically, and mining towns like Lansford were hit hard. Everything felt uncertain, unstable, chaotic. I think I found stability at school. I was quiet, kept to myself, studied hard. I liked things that made sense. Math, diagrams, systems.
You sought order.
Yes, order meant understanding. Understanding meant control.
And friends, companions.
I had brothers, a sister born after me. But school was school. It wasn't about play. It was about getting ahead.
So you learned early that success was solitary. That value came from rising above.
I suppose.
Then perhaps it is no surprise that you built a ladder to climb, Mr. Bloom, and not something different.
Like what? A pyramid? A triangle? I saw many of those following my taxonomy. How would you structure knowledge, learning, thought?
I haven't really thought about it. Perhaps a skein, a loose knot of different coloured threads.
Bloom stares, incredulous. A skein? He barely hides his disdain. Threads and knots seem a ridiculous substitute for a clean, measurable climb. But then, just briefly, his expression shifts. He feels an inkling of a deeper understanding, a question forming. Before it can surface, Aristotle speaks again, already moving forward.
Tell me, when you think about learning, whose eyes do you use? Your own, your students, your colleagues, or those of the time you live in?
Well, mine, obviously. I studied the science widely. I'm up to date with the very latest literature. I was awarded a PhD age 29 and given a chair in education age 31. I know what learning is.
Yes, but your view, your own, is already shaped, built on the foundation of your childhood, your success, your solitude. Your mother knew that the nature of the soil, even its simple pH, its simple acidity, could radically influence the color of her hydrangeas. So it is with us. Who we become as adults is colored by the roots from which we grow.
Still, it's mine. At least it's consistent. At least it is true. It has been validated by committee, by consensus. It has been validated by history. Posters of my taxonomy hang on every classroom wall and every teacher's lounge around the world.
Ah, a teacher not yet born. He will be called Brookfield, speaks of 4 lenses for understanding what is true. The lens of the self, the student, the colleague, and the moment in history. Each offers a different angle on the same reality. Through those shifts in view, we begin to see a little differently and understand a little more.
That sounds poetic.
Yes, but not less true for it.
Act 2. Aristotle has finally allowed Bloom to explain his model. We rejoin them with the chalkboard now full, Bloom's confidence restored by the comfort of well-rehearsed words, methodology, categories, justifications.
Here, this is what we did. This is the taxonomy. Knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, evaluation. It's a ladder, a progression, from basic recall to original thought.
Bloom's enthusiasm and confidence grows.
Everyone can access knowledge. Facts are found in the typeset words of books. Many reach comprehension, some apply, a few analyze. But synthesis, creation, that is rare. Evaluation, true judgment, rarer still.
Bloom pauses for a moment of dramatic effect, gesturing to himself.
Creation, evaluation, those are the realm of experts, of the academically elite. Of you and I, old man. That is what we are remembered for.
Aristotle leans back slightly, watching. His smile is wry now.
And yet, your ladder has been hijacked. Today, even children evaluate films at school. As you say, posters of your theory hang on every classroom wall and teachers lounge across the globe, with mandated verbs hanging from each rung of your ladder. Verbs that are levered into objectives with no understanding of what you meant. Only the words, the facts. What irony, Benjamin, that the teachers never sought to understand your taxonomy.
Bloom flinches slightly.
Misinterpretation. Surely they mean well.
Your ladder has become a ladder only in appearance. Most stop climbing. Some are told they've already arrived when they have not reached even the lowest rung.
Bloom looks at the board. The ladder flickers.
Now tell me, not just about your ladder. Against what does it lean?
Against what does it lean? Well, against confusion, against chaos. It brings clarity, precision.
Yes, but does it lean toward anything? A purpose, a good, a virtue?
It doesn't need to. It's a framework. Purpose comes after.
Then, perhaps, it is a ladder to nowhere.
We needed order. The education world was flooded with untested ideas, myths, superstitions, snake oil. I have written about this. We offered structure, objectivity, progress.
And yet, structure alone is not wisdom.
It is the structure that gives wisdom, old man. Without it, you're just guessing and hoping no one notices. This is education. Facts, not sociology or philosophy. Knowledge is neutral. What matters is how it's taught, how it's structured.
Then tell me, who decides what is wisdom and what is snake oil?
So we teach values now? Whose? Yours, mine, the Greeks, the church? And who decides that? Knowledge is knowledge. Keep your values for Sunday school.
There was a moment, burned across time, when men used knowledge to split the atom. They harnessed it with precision, with calculation. They climbed your ladder to its pinnacle, understanding how, never asking. Why? Knowledge followed for its own sake. That mushroom cloud, Mr. Bloom, is what knowledge becomes when it grows without values.
Act 3 finds Benjamin on the defensive, frustrated by Aristotle's persistent questions and refusal to recognise the power of what he had brought to education.
You don't seem to understand. My work was a breakthrough. We were drowning in behaviorism, stimulus, response, Skinnerian drills. I helped bring education into the light of cognition, thought, understanding. I brought focus onto the student. I guided the shift to cognitivism.
Did you?
Yes. I built the bridge. Hell, I didn't just build the bridge. I designed the map. People were floundering. I gave them clarity.
Then tell me, did you ever look back before crossing?
Look back.
To what came before you? Before behaviorism? Before textbooks? Before printing? Did you study what we Greeks wrote? The Persians? The scholars of India? Of Africa?
I believe in progress. I don't look in the rearview mirror. I look forward.
So you built a bridge without ever seeing where it came from?
It doesn't matter. History is nice, but I'm interested in what actually works. Theory is theater. I deliver results.
Then let me show you what you built. You call it a bridge, but it is not open. It leads only where you allow it to lead. It does not invite, it selects.
That's absurd.
It is a drawbridge, raised or lowered at your discretion. It allows only ideas that fit within your frame to cross. You have not liberated education. You have confined it with beautiful precision into bridges and neatly walled paths across the landscape. Your narrow rungs and the verbs that followed produced objectives so restricted they permitted learning only in the directions you dictated. Learning for wisdom, learning through experience, learning through collaboration, learning in ways not yet conceived. All of these are excluded because a young child tried to build a ladder out of loneliness.
Bloom stares at the chalkboard. His posture slackens. One hand falls to his side, the other still holding the chalk. He opens his mouth, closes it again. The lines on his face shift, no longer certainty but something closer to doubt. He lowers his eyes, his voice almost a whisper.
So, what should I have done?
I don't know, my friend. There are always unintended consequences to everything that we do. Perhaps you could have left the bridge down. Let the wind carry new voices in. Let the learner, not the structure, decide which way to walk.
Epilogue. The waking. The mist begins to lift. The chalkboard fades. Two figures dissolve into silence. One still frowning, the other smiling faintly. Darkness, then light, early morning light, low, gold, hesitant. A modest room comes into view, bright with well-worn yellow paint. It is not clear if the room is a kitchen or a meeting room, a study or a classroom. Perhaps it is all these things and more. A bookshelf lined with theory and mementos. A mug of chamomile tea sits long forgotten. Beside it, a half-eaten sandwich and a spiral notebook covered in margin notes and smudges. A woman, modern, thoughtful, a little dishevelled from sleep, stirs in a worn armchair. She opens her eyes, blinks, reaches for the pen she had fallen asleep with. She mutters softly,
"That's the last time I fall asleep thinking about men with chalk."
Laughing at herself, she looks down, scribbled words, Bloom. Aristotle, drawbridge, hydrangeas. She smiles, picks up her notebook and writes, slowly, deliberately.
Learning is not a ladder. It is a path that wanders. Sometimes the path talks back.
Under the stanza, she signs her pen name, her grandmother's name, with no capitals.
Bell hooks.
She closes the notebook and breathes.